When you think about cool animal abilities, sure, some fish have glowing bait attached to their faces, and sure, some single-celled fungi can clump together to make the star of at least a couple horror movies. But there are few adaptations as amazing, and yet as widespread, as the use of venom to subdue and digest prey. It is evolved independently in jellyfish, arachnids, insects, snails, lizards, mammals, and even one primate. But where better to investigate venom than the animals most known for it? Snakes.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Inland Taipan.
This snake has the most powerful venom known to man, with one bite delivering enough venom to kill 100 people. But first, some context. Although the digestive system of a snake runs the entire length of its body, it begins at the mouth, where it bites onto the prey's head. Then, using its curved teeth, it alternates moving its jaws in such a way that it slithers up the length of the prey until fully swallowed. The teeth, jaws, and esophagus must all work together to perform the function of digestion, and also rely on the muscular and skeletal systems for structural support. While that's all well and good, it's not very easy to get a deer, for example, to agree to be eaten. So if asking nicely doesn't work, snakes rely on a much better tool: venom. Venom is useful because it's relatively easy to bite something once, and if that single bite is enough to kill the prey, you won't have to go through the trouble of eating it alive. The venoms of snakes attack many different parts of your body. Cardiotoxins stop your heart from beating, hemotoxins cause your arteries to explode, anticoagulants thin your blood so much you bleed out from the bite, while agglutinins turn your blood into jello. However, the most interesting, and coincidentally the most scary sounding category of venoms, is neurotoxins. These chemicals attack the nervous system directly, and the inland taipan uses this type of venom to kill. The specific neurotoxin it uses is a protein called paradoxin. Not to be confused with the weight loss drug paradoxine, paradoxin is the beta neurotoxin with the lowest lethal dose known to man, only requiring 0.025 milligrams of paradoxin per kilogram of victim. That means 2.5 milligrams of it is enough to kill a 220-pound man. For comparison, a grain of sand weighs about 11 milligrams. The way beta neurotoxins such as paradoxin kill is by preventing neurons from firing. They do this by inhibiting the release of acetylcholine, a necessary neurotransmitter, causing the brain to stop working and resulting in death. As if that wasn't bad enough, another molecule in its venom, hyaluronidase, while not actually dangerous on its own, makes paradoxin much deadlier. Its purpose is to make tissues more permeable, meaning they're more likely to let other molecules through them, which is why it's often used in conjunction with antibiotics to make the treatment more effective. This fairly innocent task becomes much scarier, however, when combined with a neurotoxin, because it allows it to much more easily infiltrate the neurons it's targeting and makes the venom kill much faster. Both components of the venom are produced in the snake's venom gland, a sac behind its eyes dedicated to the creation and storage of its venom. Specifically, the venom is made in the secretory tissue. This specialized epithelial tissue is made of 3 types of cell, which work together to produce the venom. The first type of cells are basal cells, much like the basal cells in your skin. The behavior of these cells is somewhat comparable to stem cells, in that they have no specific purpose other than to divide very quickly and then turn into other types of cell. The second type of cell is a cone-shaped cell with lots of mitochondria. This type of cell is really the powerhouse of the secretory tissue, and is responsible for making lots of ATP for the synthesis of the venom. This is done in the third cell type, the secretory cells. This is arguably the most important of the 3, and is the one that actually makes the active ingredients for the venom. It uses the excess ATP to power the enzymes that make the venom. When the snake bites something and venom needs to be released, a piece of muscle tissue in the back of the gland, known as the compressor glandulae, contracts, pushing the stored venom through the primary duct and into the prey, via the snake's semi-hollow fangs. The venom then follows the prey's circulatory system to its brain and kills it. The fact that venom is such an effective weapon, while somewhat scary, is really fascinating. It represents millions of years of evolution, perfectly sculpting every organ to cooperate and produce a result that no individual organ could achieve on its own. I hope this video has given you a better understanding of the anatomy behind one of the most interesting categories of naturally occurring biological weapons.